You're listening to Passed Out, the podcast where history, mystery, the occult, and the cosmos collide. This week, we're talking about the new Limp Bizkit song, the Warped Tour lineup, is James Cameron directing another Terminator, and the Anaconda reboot. Stay curious, and welcome to Passed Out. Welcome to Passed Out. I'm Josh.
I'm Arash.
Just real quick, I want to set the record straight from something I said last week. But as of last night, I have now seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I fucking loved it.
Right?
I
Dude,
watched it
it's
last night, dude.
amazing.
Man, it was so good, dude. I was hooked from the second that the fucking plumbing commercial for the Super Mario Brothers started in the beginning.
You never
It
saw
gave
that?
me
That was like
what?
one. That was that whole plumbing commercial was kind of like a promotional thing. It was like a commercial to promote the movie before it came out.
No, I didn't see that. Like,
Oh
but
wow!
like, I loved dude. The beginning kind of. I love that they started in Brooklyn because I have this is going to be a hot take, but I fucking love Super Mario Brothers from like 1993 with John
too.
Leguizamo and fucking Bob Hoskins. I love that movie. And the commercial in the beginning of the new one, dude, the grain that they put over it like really made it feel like it happened in like the late 80s.
Right.
And it's just from the second that commercial played, I was like, I'm getting Super Mario Brother vibes from like the 90s movie. And then as soon as they went to the Mushroom Kingdom, I was like, holy shit. And like they were playing it, dude, like the animation scenes were playing like the fucking game. And then they were on Mario Kart. I was like, this is crazy. This is so fun. I don't know why I hadn't watched it, but I needed to fix that this week. And I definitely did. And I loved it.
Glad you did. What do you think of Mario's voice?
I thought it was pretty good. Like I couldn't really tell it was Chris Pratt that much. Good impression. I think he did a good impression.
Yeah, I think it would have been weird if they had got someone who wasn't Charles Martinet doing a voice of Charles Martinet.
Yeah, dude. So, I thought he did good. I'm glad that I couldn't exactly recognize it was Chris Pratt. Every other character who spoke, I knew exactly who it was. Like the second that Luigi started talking, I was like, oh shit, Charlie Day. And then as soon as Peach started talking, I was like, yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, recognize, of course, fucking I don't think Jack Black can change his voice. I have never heard him not sound like Jack Black. Like, and he's done a lot of animated movies too. He's got how many fucking Kung Fu Pandas are there now? Like, yeah, dude. And I think they got a show now too. So like, he always kind of sounds like himself. So, yeah, no, I thought it was great. I liked the voice cast. I really liked the movie. It was fun. So
Donkey Kong was a cool addition to that, and it references like their original beef even before the first Super Mario's game.
Yeah,
I like the fact that
it was
wasn't
Seth Rogen too. I was like, Seth Rogen, great choice for a Donkey Kong.
And then Peach not being the one who was kidnapped made a lot of sense in the movie. I think Luigi being the one and kind of gives you like a Luigi's Mansion kind of feel with him.
Yes, dude. In the beginning where he like went into like the castle before he got captured, I was like, oh shit. I was like, are they gonna fucking Luigi's Mansion this right now? I was like, are we in Boo's Castle?
It would be nice. It would be nice to have a Luigi's Mansion movie. Donkey Kong movie would be cool.
That's some stuff they touch on in the second one. We'll see. Because I feel like, well, never mind. I was gonna say that I felt like Galaxy's different than what I was thinking, but like I feel like Super Mario Sunshine is like a sister game to to Luigi's Mansion, because like they're both running around with the packs, and like Mario's got the water pack, but like Luigi's got the fucking vacuum pack, so like I felt like those two games really kind of went together on the but yeah, I'm excited for the second one now that I saw that.
I was very surprised you hadn't watched it.
Me too, actually. I don't know why I hadn't watched it. I think I just hadn't realized that it was like on a streaming service that I didn't have to pay for to rent it yet. And I've been waiting for Laurel to want to watch it too. And like sometimes our things just don't line up, and we don't get to stuff that like I wanted to. So
I haven't seen any of the Sonic movies. I kind of want to.
I haven't watched any of them, but I feel like I'd like them. I'm not super into Sonic
Me
lore
neither.
at all. Like
I was a Nintendo kid.
Yeah, me too. You know, like we had a Sega, but like I don't feel like we had very many games, and I feel like I played more Sonic games when they started coming out on Nintendo.
Yeah, it is a little weird that Sega's now a company owned by Nintendo. It's kind of like if Microsoft was purchased by PlayStation or Sony.
Yeah.
But it's also weird that Rareware games now come out on the Xbox. But Donkey Kong, I think, was released from Rareware. It's so confusing sometimes with all these games that like what company
Yeah.
they belong to and the
Yeah.
licensing for it.
And a lot of studio dude, and like studio like a lot of game studios go under like after even after successful games.
Hmm.
Like I don't know if their model like I don't know if their business model's just a little shaky, but like I feel like I see a lot of companies go under after that have made successful games. So getting bought out by Nintendo if you're starting to struggle kind of makes sense, you
Yeah,
know.
that was a weird time. The Dreamcast really, even though it was ahead of its time,
It killed them because it
it
was
killed
not
them.
popular, right?
Right. And
Which I thought it was good, and it was like the disc before it came out after PlayStation, right? Or did they come out like around the
yeah,
same time?
yep,
Okay.
it came out after PlayStation. And I think I want to say it was 128-bit opposed to the Nintendo, say obviously 64, and the PlayStation only had 32. Probably came around closer to, I could be dead off, but PlayStation 2 was in the works. But that would make sense because of the graphical jump. The graphics on the Dreamcast were amazing for its time, and you can kind of hold up
Mhm.
today.
Yeah.
But the online play that they focused on, nobody, it was all dial up back then. So you had a
Yeah, it
very
really
small crowd of people.
yeah.
I think if it was released today, it would have done amazing.
And that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no, it'd probably crush today.
Yeah, or even a few years after that, like, if they released it
Yeah.
right around when the first Xbox came.
Yeah, probably. But, you know, the Dreamcast was, you know, competing with the PS1 and the Nintendo 64, which I think, you know, tough crowd
And
of
then I
fucking
remember the 64 wasn't doing that well compared to the PlayStation.
really?
Yeah, it was almost considered a failed system. It's just aged well because the
Okay.
games that are good on it are some of the most iconic games in Nintendo.
Yeah, like Ocarina of Time and fucking Super Mario 3D and
Super Mario 3D.
what?
64.
Is it 64?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I have Paper
Alright, well,
Mario.
yeah. I just remember running around on that.
Yep. And I remember being at a Circuit City just in awe of the
Sure.
graphics. Yeah. RIP. For real. Pour one out for the homies at Circuit City.
My my cousin worked at at the Circuit City on Sahara.
Oh man, there used to be a like an internet cafe there.
Yeah.
For those who are too young to know what internet cafe was, before you could play games like Call of Duty online, you would run what they call a LAN, and you would be in the same room with people playing the same game. In my day, it was Counter Strike, and you would be on like the same modem, I guess, and then just play people within that room. You could smoke cigarettes in there. It was great, and all
Yeah.
these fights would start. There'd be like little clans and shit, cliques.
Do
Wild
you think
time.
if you think if somebody started, an internet cafe nowadays that it would be successful, or you think it's just not really something that people would be interested in because they have all this shit at home now?
That's a tough question. It would be maybe some areas it would kind of be a novelty thing, but people who game like that want to stay home, I feel.
Yeah.
Just play with their friends. It's too easy.
Yeah,
But
it's too easy
if they
nowadays.
have computers, it would be too expensive to run if you had like your own computers there. Probably get
Yeah.
robbed all the time.
Mhm. Yeah, but I could see, like, a situation where, like, popular online games, like Blizzard stuff could maybe be successful in that, like, you meet up with your guild buddies and just use the equipment that's there, you know?
Yeah, if you want
I
to do
think that would
something
be
like
kinda fun.
esports for some games like League of Legends, team games I think would be popular, not if it's like
Yeah.
1v1.
Yeah, no, I was kinda thinking more like World of Warcraft, like raiding kinda stuff where, like, you need like, some of those original World of Warcraft raids require, like, a 20-person group, and you have to be stacked correctly with the right class balance.
Mhm. It's
You need like a
crazy.
certain amount of healers and tanks and melee characters.
They just announced recently another expansion for World of Warcraft. How
Dude,
old
they're
is
just
that
like
game?
they're on the Disney train where they're like rebooting all of their old games. They're like, "Let's re-release it and get you to buy it again. Welcome back to the original WoW, but now it's classic."
Do you think we'll ever see a World of Warcraft 2, or they're just gonna keep supporting this
I
game?
think they're just gonna keep adding expansions to the regular World of Warcraft. Dude, if they could figure out how to like kind of bring it to a system, I would play the fuck out of it.
Do you think so? Like, I tried getting into Diablo on console, and I could not do it.
Yeah, maybe I should give that a shot and see if it works. Because my only thought is it is complicated because like I can think of some of my characters on World of Warcraft where like I am using like the entire keyboard and I'm like, there's not enough buttons on a controller to do all the things that I'm doing right
Right?
now for all of your spell slots and shit.
And even just dragging the oh, it's I guess it's not like that. Well, never mind. I'm thinking more Diablo with like dragging your character to where you want them to go.
It is the same company. Like it is like, Diablo is a lot like World of Warcraft. It's just they kind of limit it to a 5-person group. So, but yeah, I
Talking
have
about
the new
Limp Bizkit.
dude that's stuck in my head. The dude, that little wah wah fucking riff at the beginning, that
Yeah.
Westmoreland riff is so good. And it feels like such a classic Limp Bizkit. It feels like a hot dog flavored water softs, dude. Like
Thank you. Yeah,
it sounds
exactly.
like, dude, like they're like the production sounds like that, and his bars are so funny. Like, have you
They
read the
are is
lyrics?
a lot of them go over my head.
Just, dude, they're so like a lot of them. I'm like, what are you talking about?
The first line though, he gives a shout out to our
To
boy Chester
Chester.
Bennington, and
Yeah, but
then
then like the next line, he's like, "I'm sending love from a bass compressor." I'm like, what? What does that mean? What does that mean, Fred? What?
rhymes with Chester, I guess.
It
I
does
gonna go
rhyme with Chester, but
couldn't
like, and then he like talks about Bowie, and then he rolls in under pressure, which I was like, oh, good pull, But I'm looking. What are some of these are so funny. Like I don't know what he's talking about, but he's just like freestyle like a bowling pin, flex these bars on a dolphin.
there's one part where he talks about giving a high five to the traffic light, and then he goes whoop whoop. I don't know if that was an
Yeah.
ICP reference or not.
Yeah, he says, ride my scooter with a cape at night. I'm a high five me a traffic light." It's so funny. And then he goes, but right after that, he's like, "I blinked twice, then I teleport, got kicked out of the Trump
Yeah.
just or bought the next two lines are probably my favorite lines in the entire song after that part where he says, "Bought this cloud on a payment plan, then ghosted out in a minivan." What are you talking about? Like, he just was like, "What are words that rhyme, and we're gonna roll with it."
And
It's
then
fun though. It's
he does
so
go
fun.
he does go off key on purpose, but even has a line about going off key. It's
Mhm.
just classic Limp Bizkit not taking themselves
I
seriously.
know. I know, and I appreciate that they don't take themselves seriously, and it's my favorite Limp Bizkit song in a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
Actually, I would say
it's
that
really
too.
good.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some good songs on Still Sucks, but, like, I don't know, nothing really hit for me. I think the last stuff that really hit for me and, our buddy Nick I hadn't really listened to Limp Bizkit in a long time until we were in the studio working on one of our albums, and he showed me Gold Cobra, and I was like,
I liked Gold
"Whoa."
Cobra, yeah.
I was like, "This is sick."
Yeah, I remember
So it's
that.
been a yeah. So I think that was the last time that I really liked some Limp Bizkit stuff, and, like, I think I kinda glossed over Still Sucks, but this new song kind of ignited it for me where I was like, "Okay, this sounds really good." I don't understand the song title, "Making Love to Morgan Wallen." Do you have you got any insight into what he means?
Nope. No idea.
No,
I'd like to see what he says about it, if he ever does.
he
I think it
probably
was
won't.
knowing him, it's just probably something to, like, use as for some SEO purposes or kinda just shock value.
Mhm. Probably. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Are they beefing right now or something? Like, or is he, like, a huge fan and that's why he's like
I took it
this?"
as he's making love to Morgan Wallen's music, not like
Okay.
fucking Morgan Wallen. That's how I
Okay.
took it.
Well, that's probably a better way to take it than I probably took it too literal.
I took it too literal at first, and I thought about it, and the way he says it in the song, it kind of made me feel that it was making love to, like, if you were to use a band name, like making love to Slayer or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Maybe
ask
we'll write a song called "Making Love to Limp Bizkit." Bring it full circle.
making love to Fred Durst. Tria.
Yeah, yeah.
See if anybody has ideas about it. Making love or doing something to a diamond-plated, luxurious island item in an elevator followed by a sudden mention. Yeah, even AI is confused about this. I didn't like how it ended. Kind of, it felt like it was about to go
It
into some
goes
like
too long.
hardcore like
I
breakdown.
feel like I feel you. It coulda ended at, like, 3 minutes probably, and they could have cut off, like, the last 45 seconds, and it could have been perfectly fine there. It does drag out a little bit where and then doesn't really do anything.
Hmm.
So but maybe that's for a reason. Maybe the new album, the track right after fucking comes out of that and, like, they hit real hard, so that's what I'm hoping. I'm like, I hope this is kind of leading some.
That's a possibility. I like how the oh my gosh, I forget the DJ's name, but there's a lot of scratching on it. Everybody kind of has their own moments in the
Yeah.
song.
Mhm. Yeah, the drums are great, the bass is good. It really sounds like classic Limp Bizkit.
What else has been going on this week, man? What else you want to talk
You
about?
bought Warped Tour tickets, huh, for
Yeah.
2025?
Yep. Yep. I wrote down who I'm excited to see. There's a lot of
Yeah,
bands.
let's
Usually, my old ass does not know who majority of the bands are. But so for Warp Tour, I want to see Dinosaur Pilot, Microwave, Comeback Kid, Head Automatica, Gym Class Heroes, Of Mice and Men, The Interrupters, The Elevators, Story of the Year, Devil Wears Prada, The Expendables, our hometown homies, Escape the Fate, Let Live. Really excited for Gore and Good Riddance. I'm sure there are a few more that I'd like to see, but these are the ones that stuck out to me. That if they're playing it, I don't think any of these are headlining, but I would go make an effort to see them on one of the side stages. And it's
yeah.
at a football stadium, so it's not like how we had it at Desert Breeze over in Vegas, where it's
Mhm.
just some big ass park with no overhead to give you any shade whatsoever.
Yeah. I still have some really fond memories of Desert Breeze Warped Tour, though.
Who was
And
playing when you so when
Um, I went in 2004 and 2005, probably maybe even 2003, but I definitely I've definitely seen Thrice on Warp Tour. I definitely have seen Coheed and Cambria. I saw From First to Last when Sonny was still their singer and not Skrillex yet.
wow.
Yeah. So, my girlfriend at the time in 2004 was like obsessed with him. But yeah, I've all the classic emo bands that I love, I've definitely seen at Warped Tour in the early 2000s. So,
It really
there's
went
some
from
pretty.
pop punk to emo really quick in those
Yeah, it
years.
did. Uh-huh. Yeah, it did. And that's kinda when I was really into it, was, like, in the emo scene, but I also love pop punk, dude. Like, I've always loved, like, Less Than Jake, even though they're more ska, but I would consider them pop punk now that they don't have a brass section anymore. Been a very long time since they've had an album with that had the brass section on it.
I haven't really listened to the new stuff. Less than
Yeah,
Jake,
their new
man.
stuff sounds more like just pop punk, but like early pop punk, like around that time, dude, I've always loved Newfound Glory, The Starting Line. There's some great fucking pop punk bands from the early 2000s.
Another band that went to a completely different direction, the Expendables. They're completely reggae now.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's so weird. I sometimes forget that they had that past where that maybe around the time Revolution, I want to say, started getting big. They completely shifted to
Yeah,
reggae.
shifted.
But there's a lot of crossover. It's just ska with way less BPM
Yeah. Reggae
songs.
is ska, just slowed down.
It
I
is.
agree
Right.
with that 100%, dude. Because
Yeah.
like, the guitar technique and for me, I think for us as guitarists, like, the guitar technique is the same.
Upstrokes, all
Yeah.
upstrokes. And that's the only time I could do vocals while playing guitar.
Is upstroking.
Mhm. For some
Yeah.
reason, it
It
just
is
resonates
it
with
is
me.
easier. It's the way that the pattern works, it's easier to sing with than if you're
Mhm.
doing something so consistent. Uh,
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I feel like some of our songs that I do a lot of upstrokes, it's easier for me to sing, but yeah. But yeah, the Warped Tour lineup's pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna come I don't know if it comes anywhere near me. I haven't really looked that hard at it, but some of the bands that you just said, I would be interested in seeing, especially like Gym Class Heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah, Head
I just heard
Automatica.
Yeah, dude, I love Head Automatica. Beating Heart Baby is it's stuck in my head at least once a month. I just hear the Beating Heart Baby. But yeah, I just listened to a 3-hour podcast with Travie McCoy on it talking about his whole music career and how Gym Class Heroes started and just told their whole story and how he got assigned to Decadence with Fallout Boy and the Fueled by Ramen days. It was super interesting.
Da 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 da.
Not my favorite song of theirs. I think I like Close Off more, but I also like dude, like some of their songs that are not as popular are really good. He also does something that I there is a trick that I stole from him in some of our songs, and they have a song called Taxi Driver where he is just throwing out nothing but references to bands, and I do that a lot. So, and I definitely stole it from him because I definitely heard it there first before I started writing, the lyrics to Open Windows and songs where I do that on.
A lot of bands do that. I mean, some bands
Yeah.
they'll name their band after a song from one of their
Mhm.
favorite bands.
Yeah.
Um, dude, you see that AI minister of Albania?
No.
Yeah, it's a whole video and this lady saying, "Yeah, I know some of you might find it weird that I'm not a human. Rest assured, I'm gonna do the best I can for the country." That's the direction we're headed. It's so Blade Runner-esque.
Yeah, that's very Blade Runner-esque. Interesting. That's
Gonna get
super
into
interesting.
a dystopian future.
Can I tell you an AI story real quick? Did you was there more on this you wanna
No, no,
talk
no,
about
go
before I
for it, go.
derail you? I found this guy on YouTube called Professor Nick Harris or Harrison. He is basically I don't know which program he's using, but he's prompting it to make like 70s soul songs out of other songs, like just a different version of the song. And he had it do a cover of Nickelback, How You Remind Me, as a 70s funk song. And that is a good song when done in the right context. And like the AI makes it sound like it's Isaac Hayes fucking singing it. I was like, is Chef singing this fucking song? It's so good. I'm gonna send it to you
Yeah. There's a
after
lot
this
of different
because it's
artists that do that, and I'm gonna call them artists. It takes some artistry to make
it does, yeah.
anything
And
do
it
that.
it takes some skill to prompt and get it to do exactly what you want. And then like he's releasing these like basically like funk covers of something else. And like because of this, I have an idea that we need to talk about offline.
Okay.
And I don't
Damn.
want to reveal to our audience. So yeah.
Uh,
You might be able to guess where I'm going with this.
Hey,
It is one
does
of our funniest inside jokes. It has to do with a time machine.
yeah, yeah, alright,
Yeah. Okay.
cool.
Are we on the same page now? All right. Yeah. Let's talk about James Cameron writing a new Terminator movie.
About
I
damn
don't
time.
I don't know when does he have time for that? He still has what, like 2 more Avatar movies he's making after the one that hits theaters in December?
I feel like he's written all the Avatar movies
They are
already.
written. They're written already, but, like, he still has to, like, film most of I feel like they do a lot of principle and then they, spend, like, years doing the visual effects to make it look the way it does because they're doing all motion cap, but,
I
so
would
I feel
love to
like
know
he's
how
got a
that
lot of
works.
I think he's got there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff on all the motion cap shit for Avatar. He's one of those directors that is very good about showing you the behind the scenes. Like, you think about Titanic and just how, he essentially funded into the budget that they needed real submarines that they were going to design and develop so they could get down and see the Titanic. All the footage of it underwater in the movie was actually their footage from their submarines that they invented so they could actually do that. There wasn't, from my understanding, there was very little footage of the underwater Titanic before James Cameron went and did all that stuff.
That's insane.
So he's always innovating, dude. Like, he's just an innovative director, and like I'm happy that he's gonna make another Terminator movie because I don't feel like they've made a good Terminator movie since T2. Like, and that is the best Terminator movie. And he made the best Alien movie, which is Aliens. Like, James Cameron hits, dude. Like, he's got a good fucking track record for these things.
Have you ever played the Terminator game?
No.
There's a game that came out within the past couple of years that everybody's raving about the story, and it kind of completes like if it were to take place after Terminator 2, it completely makes sense. I don't want to give away too much because I want you to read it, and
Okay.
next time we talk, I want you to see how you would feel about that as a story. And I don't think I'm the only one that feels they have to at least take a lot of inspiration from that. I'm not doubting James Cameron's writing, but if he went in that direction, it would be such a good ending. Yet people are going to be expecting that you throw in like a little twist here and there with it.
Yeah. And what I'm hoping that they do is just like, let's pick up after T2 and just forget the rest of the Terminator movies. Even though I've heard that there are some, I guess there's a couple things in Dark Fate that people really liked, but overall it's just not a good movie.
Do you think they get Edward Furlong in this?
I don't know, maybe. We'll see.
Seems like he's doing a little better
Yeah,
health
I
wise.
think so. Yeah.
I think
But
they
yeah,
get Arnold back.
they probably could, he's still it's not like he's not in shape and still healthy and just kind of living his life.
That's
So
true.
they could get him back pretty easily.
And Skynet, there's got to be references to today's society and Palantir, and
Mhm.
it's the perfect time to release a good Terminator movie. And
Yeah,
James Cameron has a lot of passion behind it, so I know it's not going to just be, even if it misses, it's not going to miss that bad, or at least I hope.
it is James Cameron, you know? Now, with that being said, like, I'm not a hu like, there are James Cameron movies that I'm not, like, in love with, but, like, early James Cameron, I love, like, I might have a this might be I don't think it's a hot take, but I might be in the minority here, but, like, I really love The Abyss. I think that is a great movie and kind of sets the I feel like he kinda set the tone for what an underwater research vessel should feel like and what, like, underwater kind of thrillers should feel like, and every underwater thriller I've seen since The Abyss, it kind of just feels like a ripoff of The Abyss, and then from The Abyss, he went directly into making, Titanic with all that underwater stuff, and before The Abyss, T2 and Aliens.
Man, what a track record!
I know, right? Yeah, dude. And then like Titanic, like still one of the biggest like grossing movies of all time. And then,
Until
you know,
Avatar.
until his next movie, until like one of his next movies, Avatar just comes and crushes that. The first Avatar movie is still a visual spectacle. I love that movie. The second Avatar, it's still a visual spectacle. And like I like what they did with the water. Like he he figured out how to do CGI water like I've never seen before and film underwater and really have CGI characters interacting with water in a way that I've never seen. Like he wants it to be as realistic as possible. And I appreciate about him. And I appreciate that they don't, they don't splinch on the budget for visual effects for his movies. So
But he's
I'm
very
curious
trusted.
I'm curious what the third Avatar movie looks like. I think the design for the fire avatars look pretty sick. So, and my understanding is that like their society was burned down by like a volcano. Did we talk about this on here already?
We talked about it a little bit. Yeah, as far
Okay.
as like it's gonna do with fire, and we kind of made a Pokemon joke about it.
Okay. Of course we did. But yeah, if he's gonna make another Terminator, I'm here for it. Like, it's not like I'm not gonna watch every Avatar movie. I think for visual spectacle, every Avatar movie he puts out now is good. I just don't feel like there's a whole lot of rewatch value for me because aside from visual spectacle, I don't think the stories are that great. Okay, you're good, bro.
Okay,
All
testing.
right. All right. What do you think of the teaser footage of Liam Hemsworth as Geralt? You think this is pointless, like half the internet, or do you think that there's some redeeming qualities? A lot of people are talking shit about it.
I forgot why Henry Cavill was even let go as Gerald.
I think he left on his own accord. I don't think he wanted to do it anymore.
Well, I mean, if it's been successful, I get why they want to continue it. It seems like it's been a
Yeah.
hit. Chris Hemsworth is a hit, but seeing the side by side pictures of them is kind of jarring.
They tried to make him look as much like Henry Cavill in the suit as they could. And like when they were first doing it, I was like, I don't know about this. But then when I saw the teaser trailer, I was like, okay, like I could see it. I don't know that much about the Witcher lore, and I've really only watched you play The Witcher 3, so I don't know a
Really?
whole lot about it. Yeah, and like I like this. I like all the seasons that they've done with Henry Cavill. I like the Netflix show. It's fun. I've
I would
enjoyed it.
absolutely love if they made a reference to the cyberpunk world, because they do. CD Projekt Red has kind of uh, made references in the cyberpunk world to The Witcher, and it seems,
Interesting.
yeah, there's this whole theory about the color magenta and these monks in the Night City, which is where the majority of the game takes place. And they talk about going back to like the past or different dimension. It's definitely the Witcher world that they're talking about.
Hmm.
And then in The Witcher 3, I think it's Ciri, one of Gerald's uh, female allies, mentions going, I think it would had to have been Ciri. She mentions going to a world and seeing something like neon lights, and in the way she described it, sounded like Night City. So
Interesting.
in
That's
the show,
crazy.
if the series is able to like dimension hop, and you see a little glimpse of Pacifica, Night City, boy, that'd be a trio.
Mhm.
It's all pure hope, but I
Yeah.
would love that. There's so much lore to cover in that though, because
Yeah.
it's like a Red Dead Redemption. You're making a Red Dead Redemption or a Grand Theft Auto series, which I would love to see a Grand Theft Auto series so bad, dude. So bad.
I feel like the way they're setting up 6, I feel like you could probably do that as like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of like HBO series.
Yeah, you could. With the problem with 5, if you were to do it, is you would have to make it about Michael and Franklin.
Michael. Mhm. Yeah, and, like, your villain is like, your kind of, like, anti-hero kind of villain is Trevor. But, dude, they could literally get the voice cast to play the live action characters, and they look exactly the same, bro.
I want Billy Bob Thornton to play fucking Trevor. You'd
Dude,
be such a perfect Trevor.
The guy who plays Trevor looks just like him.
Really?
Yeah, look him up.
I would have to. I don't know. The acting would be a big part of it, to where I don't know if they're actual trained actors or
Mhm.
not. They're definitely awesome,
Voice actors.
awesome voice actor.
Yeah.
Do
Who
so
do you
much
play
with it.
as? Who do you play as when you're just fucking around?
I'm usually Franklin.
I usually play as Michael just because I like where his house is to start.
Yeah,
Like, "Oh,
that's
this is a
true.
good place to start." Yeah, you're kinda
There,
like in the
I
nicer
saw
part of
this.
town.
I saw this Facebook short of this dude playing as Michael, and he runs
Mhm.
to the hood, and then he punches some dude in the face and misses, and the guy pulls out a gun, so he calls Franklin, and then it cuts to Franklin, uh, and then he has Franklin called Michael, and when he calls Michael, you just hear Michael screaming like, it might be cut,
Man, that's
or
so
like
funny.
they might have dubbed the voices, but
Mhm.
it's done so great. Have you seen those Spider-Man fucking shorts? It's like a
No,
mod for GTA 6. They make fucking
no.
Spider-Man do the craziest shit. It's so good. Well, there's a lot of mods for
Dude, there
GTA
are so
6.
many mods for GTA. You mean 5?
No, yeah, 5. I can only
Yeah.
imagine. Is there gonna be free loops in GTA 6? Have you heard about that?
No, but that'd be cool if you could do FL Studio shit while you're in there.
Yeah, yeah,
They
that's
definitely like, they're definitely like, they definitely focus on the music studio in the trailer, like, they're like, this is an environment," like, it makes me feel like that's an environment we're gonna be in.
imagine just making beats in GTA 6. We can make our next album on GTA 6.
100% on GTA 6, just like, "Yeah, we're gonna make an album on here."
But it seems like
I'm down
social
to do it,
media is
I'd
gonna
do
be too. Like social media is gonna be a huge thing where you just record the craziest shit you
it.
see.
Mhm.
So it's so smart. How many clips of just insane shit going on in Vice City that you will see on
Man,
Twitter or whatever.
that is so good. What a
Hmm.
smart move. Maybe it's for
Yeah,
the best that they keep delaying it so that all of this shit actually works.
I know.
I hope they don't delay it again, but, like, if all of this works when it comes out, this is gonna be a beautiful I think it'll be in 2026.
Rumor is that the base game is gonna be about $100. I would pay. I hate to say it,
I'll
I would
pay
pay
it.
$100.
I'll pay it. It is what it is.
Yeah, and they're not. Rockstar really isn't the type to release an unfinished game.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I'm getting a next gen system. Like I thought, I played the first Final Fantasy VII reboot game. The second one I want to play. I
Mhm.
also want to finish the Cyberpunk DLC, which wasn't released on Xbox One, unfortunately, and that pissed me off. But mainly GTA 6 is the reason I'm either going to get a PS5 or a Xbox Series X.
Yeah. I highly recommend the PS5, but I'm partial, so
Well,
just always been a
I
PS5.
have some PS4 games I have downloaded
Yeah.
on my account that I need to get, so I might go PS5 route after all.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Anaconda trailer with Paul Rudd and Jack Black?
Yeah, kinda ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but they're like filming a movie. It kind of feels like Tropic Thunder.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like
It
a
does feel like yeah, it feels just like Tropic Thunder. I was gonna say that. So I like the beginning where he's like, "Let's reboot Anaconda." He's like, "Yes," and then he's like, "What?" I was like, "Okay, okay, Paul Rudd, take me there."
it does feel like who's the guy that made Knocked Up? Judd Apatow. It kind of does feel
Judd
like a Judd
Apatow.
Apatow movie,
Mhm.
and we're due for one, dude.
Yeah, dude, who's doing it? Who's doing Anaconda?
Let's see. I don't think I recognize the director name.
Yeah. Also, great song choice in the trailer. Just the constantly doing that. My Anaconda. I was
Don't
like,
want
okay,
none, son.
yeah,
Directed by Tom Gormican. Let's see what he's done. This guy's pretty young. He looks younger than he is. He's 45. He did That Awkward Moment, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Ghosted,
okay.
the 2024 Beverly Hills Cop. I haven't seen any of this shit.
Oh, you haven't seen an unbearable weight of massive talent?
No, or Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Yeah, you don't like Pedro, so I understand why you haven't watched an unbearable weight of massive talent. But god damn it, if I, it's Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, which is I'm
Oh,
here
I
for.
like that. Are you
Yeah,
talking about Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite?
no, Pedro Pascal.
But no, I don't mind Pedro. It's
Okay,
just he's been everywhere to where it kind of seems like an industry
yeah,
plant type shit.
yeah. Now,
We'll
who
see.
would have a problem with Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite?
I thought people are gonna get mad over this. I thought Napoleon Dynamite was pretty overrated.
It has its moments. It's so, dude. I think Cousin Rico just makes that movie for me.
Uncle
He's
Rico,
like, yeah, Uncle
him throwing
Rico.
the steak, and then you see Pedro like laughing as he's biking off.
Huh,
That
yeah,
is a funny scene.
yeah. He's like, I could throw a football over this mountain.
Your brother reminds you of Uncle.
I was thinking about him last night when I was watching Super Mario Brothers because I was like, God damn it, I'm the older brother who's shorter, and I kind of look like Mario now that I'm getting older.
Hey, it's better than me looking like Raja from American Dad. I have the body type, dude. It's like it's just kind of pear shaped.
Yeah.
Fucked up, man. Getting
It's
old
my
is not cool.
No, I walked into my sister's house with a red hat on last time I was in Atlanta, and she goes, "Motherfucking Mario up in here." I was like, "Yeah, all right, get out of here."
Dude, this
Oh,
place I hang out at, the owner has his cockatoo hanging out of the cage,
mhm.
and it sometimes talks and it recognizes me. But when I went up to it, it was like, "Hey, pretty girl." I was just kind of offended. I know I shaved my beard and it's gotten less prominent, but I don't think after the hair, I was like, "Oh, that's not cool," and he hasn't talked to me since. So I think he was just like, "Whatever, dude. If you don't want these compliments, I ain't talking to you."
Yeah. That's so funny.
Done fucked up, man. Fucked up.
What else did we wanna talk about? What do you Alright, so let's see, you wanna bring around the Batman again? The Batman Part 2?
Yeah, Matt Reeves says that Batman 2 villain has never really been in a movie before. What do you think he means about that? Because Penguin's been in a movie. Do you think
I'm
Penguin's going to be
assuming
the overarching villain in
No.
trilogy?
No, I don't. I think that so what do I think?
That
I
takes
kind
away
of thi
Black Mask. That takes away Freeze.
I think it's gonna be Hush.
Why do you say that?
Because Hush is okay, aside from being in an animated movie, Hush has never been in a movie, okay?
Okay.
So
How
they've
do you think
never
he's
had
going to tie into the
Hush.
story?
Okay, so do you know the story about Hush? So it was a comic this was a graphic novel from 2002, 2003, and then they did like a 2017 animated movie, I think, about it. And essentially in that story, Batman and Catwoman are kind of a thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And while he's out as Batman one night, he is shot and paralyzed. He's operated on by a family friend. So like his dad's a family friend, which is like a kid he grew up with, which would have been like the kid of his parents' friends, like a surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This surgeon is Thomas Elliot. He operates on Batman. And then, but that I don't know how they do that as a movie because there's a lot of villains in it. Like, Poison Ivy's doing her thing, the Joker's doing his thing. There are a lot of Batman villains in that storyline. You don't have to do that storyline, but I do think if they're talking about a Bruce Wayne angle and a story that we've never seen before, I think that you bring in Thomas Elliot, who is Hush, that just, you know,
What does
fucks with
Hush
him on a
do to fuck with Batman slash Bruce Wayne?
it turns out he's pulling the strings of everything that's happening, and he's the one who shot Batman, which I think is weird because he operated on him. I'm like, man, this is just some like psychological shit, But Hush wears the bandages on his face, so you can't tell who he is. But I kind of feel like that's the thing. I kind of feel like it's gonna be Hush. I also feel like they could do a Court of Owls kind of thing.
Ooh,
If you wanna
yeah.
see, like, the underbelly of Gotham and, like, the rich and who's pulling the real strings, like, the Court of Owls isn't super
That makes a lot of
interesting.
sense because with the angle that the Penguin is going, especially with the show,
Mhm.
which won 6
E
Academy Awards, dude.
I know. I I saw Kristen Milioti up there accepting her award on Sunday. They have said that she's not gonna be in the next Batman movie, though, and that's because they were writing the script for Batman while that show was going on, so they, didn't exactly know what it was gonna take off the way that she did,
Mhm.
which maybe you bring her in for another one. They're definitely making a Penguin season 2, right?
They would be stupid not to, or if they call it something like if they do bring the Court of Owls, you have like a Court of Owls show, or you have a show that leads to the 3rd movie.
Yeah. So, we'll see, but yeah, I really think either Hush or Court of Owls. It'd be cool to see, like, some, other Batman villains, but I get it, you know? I get that they don't just wanna do, like, Batman villain cameos, they want them to kinda ride through the whole movie, so
Yeah.
but, like, I don't really feel like the first Batman I don't feel like the Batman was overcrowded. I feel like, Penguin has his moments to shine, and then Catwoman has her fucking moments, and then you've got the Riddler overall.
So good. Yeah.
The only thing I don't wanna see right away is I don't wanna see the Joker right away. Like, let's let's wait a little bit. We've seen him a lot lately. Let's take a little break.
I
I
agree.
think you absolutely have to see him in 3. Like, if they're gonna do a Batman Part 3, I think definitely you go the Joker route because you have to now. Like, you're right? Like, you're getting into it, but
I don't
yeah, I
know.
don't
I would like a trilogy without Joker.
I would too, but, like,
That would be very controversial, though.
they've already set up the Joker in this universe, though, at the end of the
That's
Batman.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
And the
you got
deleted
Barry
scenes,
Keoghan
and
fucking sitting yeah, you got him sitting in there in the prison fucking talking with the Riddler at the end. Hard not to actually tap that at some point, which is, if they go the Hush route, then I do think that you will see Riddler escape Arkham in the next movie.
they could. We talked about this before, but I was thinking it might go more with the Mad Hatter route, with the drug
Yeah.
that it's introduced in the Penguin
Mhm.
series.
Yeah.
And he has a comic that he gets like the whole city eye, and Arkham Asylum is basically releases all the prisoners.
Yeah. I
Hugo
also think
Strange
that
might be another one.
I was literally about to say that. I think that Hugo Strange is a great villain, and I think that, like, the Arkham route like, I wanna see an Arkham Asylum movie. Like, I think that would be sick as like, Bruce Wayne's like, Batman's gotta get into the asylum because they've taken over.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so.
That'd be so good. Like, that's what I wanna see, and,
Man.
like, Hugo
Yeah.
Strange pulling the fucking Joker strings and let them all out, and you gotta deal with Harley Quinn, like, dude, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, those games are so good, and, like, they're based on Arkham Asylum, which is a great graphic novel. So, I'm here for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else you
Alright.
want to kind of touch over? I have here
No,
Bioshock movie in the works. Were you a big Bioshock fan?
I like the idea of Bioshock, but I just am not the biggest person on first person games.
It was one of the biggest, both Infinite, maybe even I mean, the second one wasn't as big of a shock. It kind of was
Mhm,
obvious. But the first one where the villain is leading you to kill, spoiler alert, your own father.
mhm.
And then that twist is like a M. Night Shyamalan twist almost. And then in the third one, where it's like tearing the space time continuum, and I love stories like that. And it's just like this multiverse of different endings.
Yeah.
Bioshock really, really, really captures a lot of elements of good movie making within its games. I know Infinite
Uh-huh.
was very.
Especially Infinite, dude, yeah,
Infinite
Infinite
was.
feels like it could take place in an Ayn Rand movie.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. And in a way, that game it can be a prequel for Bioshock 1, because it does deal with like the inevitability of going to Rapture, which is where the first two games take place. And capturing Rapture in a movie would be so creepy.
Yeah,
You
dude,
could mix a lot of elements of movies, like comedy, horror, action, all into one
yeah,
with Bioshock.
yeah, if you're gonna go that route, I feel like a horror movie would be really I feel like horror would be a really good angle, but, are they making a movie or are they making a show? Making a movie?
From what I saw, it was a movie. This was on IGN that I saw
Yeah.
it.
Man, if you did a show, you could hit it all. You could probably start the beginning and like, the Infinite line and like I like Infinite because I like the cities, dude. Like I like the big fucking like spectacular cities and the
Columbia
zeppelins
was
flying
beautiful,
around,
dude.
dude. It's
Yeah.
so, like I like that kind of that like retro futuristic kind of vibe.
BioShock's one of the few video games, though, where the lore doesn't, especially with the first two games. Like you said, the Infinite might be a better TV show, but if you set it in Rapture, those two games are not very long, and you could
Yeah.
condense it into 150-minute, well, not 150-minute, like a 120-minute
Yeah.
movie. Maybe even less. I mean, most movies are like what, 90 minutes now, 100 minutes
Mhm.
tops.
Yeah. Which
But you could
I
still
did
do
look,
a
dude,
lot
I'm
within that time.
yeah. And big blockbusters, they have 2 hours to 2.5 hours usually if they've got a big budget, especially depend like, who's making it? Who owns the Bioshock rights? Which movie studio owns that?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Is this a Warner Brothers thing? Like,
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. I don't think it is.
at Paramount or something? Like,
Can possibly. It's a movie adaptation for Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to be directed by Francis Lawrence. Let's see what Francis Lawrence has done. It's like a bunch of porno. Looks like director of music videos and commercials. Wow, I wasn't far enough
Okay.
in a way.
Well,
He did Water for Elephants, I Am
dude,
Legend,
okay. I
The Hunger Games, and the spy thriller Red Sparrow. He has a
okay.
great resume.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if you've seen Water for Elephants, but, like, that is one of my favorite Robert Pattinson movies.
When he did Constantine, which also is getting a sequel,
Is it still getting a sequel? Or did that get canceled with all of the, Neil Gaiman news? Because, dude, Constantine, even though Constantine's owned by DC, but that is a character who was invented by Neil Gaiman in The Sandman.
this is from MSN 4 days ago. Constantine 2 director Francis Lawrence, same director,
Okay.
reveals sequel is closer than ever. But this is from
Which, dude,
7 months ago, but it apparently got an update 4 days ago.
okay, cool. Which dude, I love Constantine. That's a great movie. I'm surprised I'm guessing it didn't make that much money when it first came out. Keanu, great choice, dude. And honestly, the best depiction of the devil I think I've ever seen on film is in that movie. Like, just there's something
The
so
bar
creepy
scene.
about when he's sitting in the chair and like he's interacting with Satan, and you're like, okay, this is crazy.
Hmm. I saw that movie when it came out in theaters. I must have been like a senior in high school when it came out.
I watched it recently because I wanted to like get a fresh take from, now. So I did see it when it first came out, and then I was like, I haven't seen this in a long time, and they're
I
talking
need
about
to do a
making I probably
rewatch.
watched it 7 months ago when this came out. So
Wow.
yeah, so like I watched it pretty recently, and it holds up. It's really good, man. I forgot how good that movie is.
There
But
were
I love demons and shit, so, like, just, like, watching him, like, do his thing with, like, exorcisms and stuff, I was like, this falls right in line with kinda my interests.
it's so weird that like one of the most wholesome people I know is into demons. Maybe that's like what takes out that exercises you of all your sins, but yeah, it's you know,
Dude, I think
very
it's because I like scary
antithetical of
movies.
you.
I just like scary movies, dude, and I just like even and I know that Constantine's not really scary, but, like, the lore kinda pulls from the same thing that a lot of scary movies that I like does. I like the idea of, like, possession, and, like, I kind of just like, it's an interesting like, demons and ghosts, and it's an interesting thing to think about if it could be real. So and, like, we have a song where we're talking about, we're, like, severely dealing with a person who is being possessed in Until the Earth Shakes. So, that is a person who is fighting with himself over, like, fighting a fight in his mind between himself and the demon that has possessed him, and then you hit the chorus and he's like, fool, this is my house," you know?
Yeah, the backstory to that, it is crazy.
I know. Alright, but,
No, this song is about earthquakes. Nothing more, nothing less.
nope, not at all. I think there was one more thing we wanted to touch on, and, it's just it's that singer David who, they found the 15-year-old body of a 15-year-old girl in his Tesla recently. He's got songs charting because of this right now, which I think is real weird, but, I guess
Controversies.
controversy. I know it does. It's so weird. You're just like, okay, this is our society is just an interesting thing where like the things that people lean into and the things that people go chase because of a, controversial news article.
Do you think he was set up? It was a message sent to him? At the very least, it had to have been a PDF relationship with the what? He met her when she was 13? He was
Yeah, and I guess
18?
yeah, and I guess he's saying that they didn't his camp is saying they didn't know her real age, she lied about her age, this and that. They also up until a few days ago, so this broke like a week ago that they had found a body in his car and nobody knew whose it was. And then when they were showing videos of the tattoo, the girl's mom was like, "That's my daughter." And then you come to find out that she had a connection to him. And she's like, "Oh, my daughter was talking about her boyfriend, David." Oh, and
And he
they
has a
have matching
song,
tattoos.
Celeste, matching
Yeah, and he's got
tattoos.
matching, like, dude, like, this is, yeah, dude, like,
But there's another Celeste, a 23-year-old Celeste that he's been on IRL videos with.
okay, well,
And she kinda looks
interesting.
like her. He's obsessed with that type of look. Like, every music video that I've seen, I haven't seen too many, but I've seen
Yeah,
3 or 4 different ones, and the chick looks like the victim. It's really creepy, dude. And
that
he
is
has
really
one
creepy.
song called Romantic Homicide. I don't know what words YouTube doesn't like, so I'm being careful here for for the algorithm. And yeah, that song is kind of disturbing when you read about it. It's
Yeah.
talking about having no remorse after doing a heinous act, and you know,
Lots of
I,
correlations, dude, like, that I feel like that's a lot of substantial evidence, right?
it is. But the conspiracy part of me is like, what if he was set up? Because why?
Like,
How?
somebody heard the song, somebody knew, and then they killed her and somehow put her in the trunk of his
If he
car while
had a
he's out of
contract
the country.
dispute, some business problems, and they're like, all right, I'll kill one of his homegirls, send a message to him.
Man,
It's a
crazy.
Tesla, though. You'd think that they would have some sort of footage of someone doing something, loading up the trunk, who used it last, why they left it abandoned. That's the biggest one. Who drove it last? Who
Mhm.
left it abandoned? If the body was decomposing, why didn't you check the trunk? Why didn't you
Bro,
come
I don't
back
know
to the
about you, but
car?
if my c yeah, dude, I don't know about you, but if my car was missing, I would notice immediately.
He's rich as fuck now, though. Even though he's like on the up and up, he
Yeah,
signed a big contract. He's on tour,
probably. Yeah.
and you're generous. I know you'd let homies use your car
Yeah.
while you're on tour. I don't think any of them would do something like that to you, though.
No, also, I don't have a trunk. They're like, "We found a body in the bed of this dude's truck," but alright. We got anything else to say about that?
I don't. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll keep
Probably no
watching that art.
conspiracy. Almost like those Charlie Kirk messages, dude.
Yeah,
Let's,
dude.
uh, Let me end on this. Like, who says squad car that's 22 years old? Who says my love? Who says I'm changing my outfit? That's a dude. I've never heard a dude say change my outfit. Wouldn't his girlfriend or his lover? I said lover. I'm 38 though. Wouldn't his partner know that his dad was MAGA? You don't think you talk about his dad? It's just like conveniently placing blame on himself in those texts.
Yeah.
What, do you think that's fishy? Am I the only one? I mean, I know I'm not the only one, but you don't think that's
No, it is
fishy?
fishy. It is fishy.
Is it someone in Charlie Kirk's camp? I don't know, dude. That's
I don't
another
know,
one where it's just like really
but look,
messing
if
with you.
and back to the David thing, if it wasn't him, then I think you're right. It probably could be somebody in his camp that is disgruntled about some kind of financial situation or jealousy of the
Or
women or something like that.
one thing that I could think of where it would definitely be him is like if she got pregnant and he knew that the news would just ruin his career.
Mhm.
So he just maybe accidentally did something to her, and it could be anything. People are so messed up.
Stay
All
curious,
right,
guys.
man. Later.